Greetings, Earthlings. It is Tamasha. I hope you're doing well. So, today I am excited to tell you guys about my new podcast that I have been putting off for a very long time now. Um, for so many reasons, just not being obedient to that voice from my creator, my guides, just being told a long time ago that this is something that I need to do. And I've just been putting it off for many reasons. Like I said, the idea of having to do this whole thing as an entrepreneur until you are able to start hiring people, you have to start doing everything yourself. And so this arena of editing and videos and lighting and that kind of thing has been really intimidating to me. So the weird part about it is when I did radio, I would have to cut my own commercials. I would have to edit them and get them, put the music behind. I would have to do everything. And it was so simple. And I know technology is way better now than it was then. This was in I did radio from 99 to '05, something like that. So, yeah, I had to really have a come to Jesus meeting, as people would say, with myself and, just really go ahead and get it going because I realize I have a voice and there are so many people in this world that go through some of the same things that we go through. And some of the topics of discussion are going to be very deep to the point where some people won't be able to handle it. Some people might get pissed off at me for talking about it. But essentially, it's going to be all surrounding you getting to know me more, me really being my authentic, transparent self and just sharing more about who I am with you. Um, Basic shit. Born and raised in Los Angeles, California in the 70s, 1972. I was the first girl on both sides of my family. And so there was a lot of excitement surrounding me being born. All of the women could buy the barrettes and the bows and blah, blah, blah. And they did a lot of that. But just really sharing my experiences with you growing up in South Central LA. Some would call it the ghetto, some would call it the hood, but that was my life. It was my family. Um, but went through a lot of ups and downs. I did, just struggling with self-esteem most of my life, even to this day, not having certain levels of confidence, even being a little shy sometimes, believe it or not, depends on the situation. But through all of the struggles and the heartbreak and the mistreatment that I went through, I discovered my voice. And I know that I have a story to tell. And I know that no matter what story I tell, there will be people out there that can relate to it. So, yeah, that's a little bit about who I am. Very passionate about health and wellness. And, I like to say that I'm an expert when it comes to losing weight because I've lost weight and gained weight multiple times in my life. Being an expert on what it feels like to be ridiculed and talked about, you know what I mean, being looked over because I was overweight, that kinds of stuff can really wear on you. And so that is the purpose of me starting this podcast. I will post once a week. There will be an episode. And, I'm honestly hoping that I get to the point where I can start interviewing people, interviewing some of you. There are people out there who need to tell their story just for the purposes of healing, and they need a platform that they can feel comfortable with doing so. But yeah, that is the purpose of this video. I took some notes because I like to make sure that I have notes. I don't want to forget to talk to you guys about anything. So thank you for your time. So pay attention, subscribe if you have not, turn on the notification bell. That's the first time I've ever asked you guys to do that. I just kind of feel like people don't want notifications going off. And that could be one of those insecurity sides of me. You know what I mean? That self-esteem thing of me being afraid to be seen. That could be what it is, because why wouldn't I want y'all to know when I post a new video? I don't give a damn if I post a new video every day. You know what I mean? So I think this has a lot to do with that too. Me just really coming out of the closet and stop being afraid to be seen. I've been doing a lot of inner work, a lot of shadow work, a lot of inner child healing, and it's just time. I'm hoping to be able to help. Not, I know I will. I already do help someone. I always feel like I've done a good job if I could help just one person, and I've done that multiple times. So this is just a different avenue that I'm taking, that I've basically been told multiple times, when God comes knocking, you better answer, or it's not going to look good on the other side of it. It's like you either got to move yourself out of your comfort zone and push yourself to do that thing that you should do, or be prepared to take it how Creator give it to you. And God, sometimes it ain't nice. You ain't expecting it. You not ready. Just an example of being supposed to leave a job or a relationship a long time ago, and just procrastinating and having to have all these plans in place, and, just plan A, plan B, plan C, no faith, just, putting it on the back burner, and then you lose that job and you can't find another one, and your bills are falling behind, and that's how it happens when you don't heed the voice of God, when you keep staying in that comfort zone and don't do what you came here to do. And I feel like that's the lane that I'm in now. It's time. So thank you once again for watching. I'm excited. A little bit nervous because the whole idea of an actual podcast is all on my shoulders. When I did radio, all I had to do was show up. All the equipment was there. There were people to teach me how to use it. I put on my earphones. I hit on the mic, turn the mic on and off, turn the volumes up and down. That was it. But then even when it came to editing the videos, there was somebody in that department right there to say, oh, do this, do that. That's not it with this. So I'm a student. I'm a student and a teacher right now. I'm here to teach you some things that I know, but when it comes to this podcasting, editing, and all of that stuff, I am definitely a student. So, I just want to thank you all so far who've been rocking with me from the beginning, my how-to videos and just everything, my rants, all of that stuff, my uplifting videos. Thank you for rocking with me, and I'm hoping that you all stick around for this next phase. There's going to be a lot of fun and challenging topics that we are going to dive right into, because it's time that we start talking about all of these things. So I love you. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and things are going to change as I change and grow and learn. I'm sure a couple things may change along the way, and we just going to ride the wave. Ghost ride the whip. No. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Do something healthy for yourself. Bye.